Welcome back to Addiction. My name is John. Today we're talking about a journey with Kimberly, who's on the show. Happy to have you here.
Thanks for having me, John. I feel honored.
It's good. I love the show. I think you're going to love it. I don't know if you've been watching the show or not.
I've seen it a few times.
Okay.
Yes.
We have a lot of different things that go on, a lot of different people that come on. But today's journey is going to be mostly about Kimberly and what she's done, what she's gone through, the struggles, the changes, the success, and what else she's doing, which I can't share yet, but we'll share at the end of the show. So, Kimberly, you've been doing well. I know you personally, so I can't say a whole lot right now.
Yeah.
Okay. So I kind of want to know your journey. When this all started, like I know you had mentioned something about medical you used to love, and then things happened, stuff like that. There's like your heart was into it. So give me your journey. What happened? How did this go down with the struggle with addiction in the beginning?
Well, I've had a struggle with addiction since I was 16 years old.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's when I first started using. I started with cocaine. It literally came in through my front door.
You started with cocaine?
Yeah, I started out using cocaine.
Wow.
Yes. Cute guy, 5 years older than me.
No, cute guys will do that to you.
You know, right in my front door, was cooking raw cocaine in my kitchen.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And that's how, my addiction began.
When the addiction began, was it more like he was in there, or you were like, should I join? I mean, how did it start?
No, he became my boyfriend for a very long time. I had my first child with him.
Oh, wow.
I lost my first child because of addiction.
I'm sorry.
Yes, I did not raise my firstborn child. And so, I've struggled with a lot of clean time. I've relapsed multiple times over my entire life. I've, been to prison twice. I've done well on paper when it comes to probation time. And then, I self-destruct. I've had multiple self-destructions. I get to points where I have everything right where I want it, and then I just, relapse and go back to
I've heard that before. I've had people tell me they're on probation.
Mm-hmm.
They get off probation, they screw up for some reason. They're on probation, they're great. They get off probation, they screw up again. Why is that?
At that time, you don't know what it is. You know what I'm saying? I know now with doing therapy, I battle with depression and anxiety, and I'm seeing a therapist. Finding things out now from doing therapy and being on depression meds, from what my therapist tells me, I didn't feel like I deserved happiness because I didn't raise my son.
Who told you that?
My therapist.
You didn't deserve happiness.
I felt I didn't deserve happiness.
Okay. I thought the therapist said that.
My therapist said I've probably been dealing with depression a lot longer than I ever thought I did, which my depression came to a head, which was I was really battling it for the last, I would say, a year and a half or something. And it got really severe over the past year. Finally went to a therapist where I was diagnosed. I'm on medication, and I'm doing very well. Yeah, doing very well.
I can confirm that because I know you.
The medication is helping a lot, and I listen. When they tell you see a therapist and get on meds because the meds work, they work. Everything that we preach to our clients with me working in treatment, I can now say yes.
Because you work with clients now.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, I mean, it's
sad that you said that you deserve happiness because you didn't raise your first child, but it's got to be hard because, I'm in the same kind of field as well, and I think for me it's hard because you blame yourself for the choice you made, but at the time you were making poor choices on yourself.
Yeah.
So I mean, do you really have that sense of not feeling hopeless or not feeling like you want happiness because of the fact that maybe it was just a mistake when you were younger?
I honestly don't know. Like, I would always get to that point where I had everything. Like, I was a certified medical assistant. I was
Wow.
working for the Nevada Donor Network. I was I was an assistant for minor surgery. Like, I was working towards, I wanted to be a surgical nurse.
And I heard that you love that.
I was born to be it. I was a natural at it. That is something that I was working towards my aspirations.
You can't go back into that?
Cannot.
Cannot.
I cannot. If I got my record sealed, there's been enough time now to where I could do that. But
Did you ever consider
now
that?
I have a career that I absolutely love, and I don't see myself going anywhere else.
It's like surgical help, but on the emotions in the mind right now.
I'm just saying, like, I love where I'm at. My clients, my clients love me. They didn't like me at first. When I first started working in treatment, I was a drill sergeant. I didn't have my footing at first, and the patients didn't care for me because I was always by the book. And I had to learn my way through treatment. I had to have mentors and people to guide me and show me the way. And I took in everything that I could, and it worked for me. I gauged it, worked it, took in all the mentorships, and it's been the most. It's been the best decision I ever made for myself, was to work in treatment. For sure. It has been the best decision.
Not to
I
go
ever
to
made.
your success, because that's success, obviously. But I got to go backwards a little bit.
Okay.
Now, I know that relapse is a part of recovery.
Yes.
Did you struggle with that?
With relapse? Oh, yeah. Many times.
Many times.
Many times.
What were the triggers that causes that?
The wind.
The wind?
It could have been the wind. I can't pinpoint triggers, I would say, because I've had so many relapses that...
Well, some always have, like, some people say they had, like, a heavier trigger for some reason.
I honestly... I know the last time from a lengthy term of clean time. So the last time, like, I was married at the time, and my husband was cheating on me in my own home. I know my daughter was, in a really poor relationship, and she was in an abusive relationship. And I was dealing with the loss, not a death loss, but I was raising my granddaughter, and she had been with me for a year and a half, and her mom, it was what I worked out with her mother. And so her mom had went to school, and I was, taking care of her while she was away at school. And then, of course, when she was done, she had to come get her. And so it was just a lot for me to deal with. So all that was happening at one time, and I just, you know what I mean? And it was a lot.
Well, it's interesting you said relationships, because for some reason, even in the field when I practice, I notice a lot of people, relationships seems to be the biggest thing. It always comes with relationships.
Yeah.
Seem to be a heavy thing. So now you said that you're heavy on people. You're a drill sergeant with treating people. But is it because nobody was a drill sergeant with you in the beginning? Like, you feel like you had to be that person. Like, you went through this struggle. Maybe you didn't have that drill sergeant right away. It caused you to constantly have the struggles. Is it something like that made you change your dynamic?
No, it's because every time I got clean, it was because that's the way I had to do it. I had to follow the rules. I had to either be in a program, because it was always because the court made me.
Because the court made you?
Yeah, it's always because it was done by the court or the PO.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the only way you could do it is by the book.
So now when people get really strict on you, you follow all the guidelines, you stick to the books. Mm-hmm. Why the fall? It's a lot of work to put in to stay safe.
I know. Honestly, I can't explain it. It's just, I'd get off paper, and then...
You're not the only one. Everybody I've talked to, I talk about different things they use. They're just like, it's just things happen. It's like an answer.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's no straight answer.
Yeah.
It's like things happen. But it's a lot of work. Working with people and seeing what they have to do. The ones who want to do the work, obviously, how that goes. But, some people they put the work, and you're like, man, this is unbelievable. So it's kind of like, it's like having a hobby and putting all this time in and then just trashing everything. Doesn't make any sense, right?
It does not make any sense. Yes, it does not. It really doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I think I will be in therapy for the rest of my life trying to put everything in boxes and try to make sense of all of it, or just let it go and just keep on moving forward. I mean,
So you're
do I
basically
really want to make sense of it? Probably not, because I'm in a really good space, and quite frankly, I can say now, I won't go back there. I won't be one of the. I'm 10 and a half years now.
It's amazing. 10 and a half years.
Yes.
Wow.
And with what I've built currently, I'm certain, and I know nobody says certain, and you probably shouldn't say certain, but I don't see myself going back there.
Right. And I knew somebody who was a substance abuse counselor, and he was fighting substances. And he used to tell me, he goes, "Listen, the ones who say I will never go back and I won't do this, I'm never doing, I'm not an addict anymore, are the ones who might relapse, right?"
Yeah, I'm an addict.
Right.
I'm just.
He goes, "It's the
in
ones who
recovery
say I'm
for the first
another
time."
day sober, and they keep moving on. Those are the ones that kind of maintain." I said, "That's so interesting, that they hear that." So let me ask this: so you're basically counseling for you is more like kind of maintaining the emotions of everything you've pretty much have gone through. Between substance abuse, life circumstances, understanding some things about yourself and others. There's a lot of maintenance, right?
Yeah, so I did the Choices program.
Wow.
So for me, I've never done the 12 steps.
No?
AA and A was never for me. I didn't care for the meetings. The 12 steps wasn't my jam. Like I did the 90 meetings, 90 days. Like, no, I did what the courts required me of. I had to do the 18-month program with Choices. I've done those things.
Right.
I put myself in relapse prevention.
Right.
I did that program with Monte Vista.
Oh, yeah, obviously,
Yeah, I've done things. Do I stick to? I don't stick to them. I don't care for them. Nothing really resonated with me. So this last time, I found myself in jail. It was May 5th, 2015. I found myself in jail, and I'll be honest, I had 36 felony counts.
36?
36 felony counts.
If you guys don't have that many counts, you're not doing it right. I don't know. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
But that's 36
half of them are,
felony
and
counts.
quite frankly, half of them were fictitious. However, whatever.
Whew.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So I get out of jail. I check into the Monte Vista relapse prevention program. I do the program. I'm doing all the things I need to do. And then, so months I'm fighting this case. I have an attorney. Well, I get down to one felony count out of all of it.
36 to 1?
One Class E felony.
What was your name of your attorney? I'm just kidding.
One Class E felony. And I do all this stuff, and I'm certain I'm going to get probation. Even, even the probation department, recommended probation.
Right.
Well, I get in front of the judge, and the judge is not seeing it. My daughter goes to court with me, and the judge I hadn't been in trouble in 10 years. 10 years, nothing with the courts. I hadn't been to prison in 10 years. And the judge decided that I wasn't being a good enough role model for my daughter and sent me to prison for 8 months.
What?
Did. Yes.
Wait, why would someone who's staying out of trouble get sent to prison?
I have no idea. For one Class E felony and sent me to prison. Yes. Wow. So I did 8 months in prison, and when I came out, I decided that I needed to do more. I just had to do more for myself because I know that what I was doing in the past, and I didn't care for AA, NA. I didn't like that type of thing. It just wasn't for me.
Right.
It works for other people, but it just wasn't for me.
Right.
And so I said, I'm going to go work in treatment. So I went to work at 7-Eleven so that I could go to school, and that's what I did, and I got my degree. So the last semester of school, I went to work. My plan was to go to West Care and work. However, my felonies weren't old enough. You have to have 7 years.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And my best friend told me that Crossroads was open and to go apply there, and she gave me a name of a person. So I went into Sorry.
It's okay. You're fine.
I went and did an interview, and I was hired.
No, it's amazing. Let me tell you this too. Westcoast does a lot of things, but Crossroads does a lot of stuff too.
Yeah.
I love Crossroads and what stuff they do. So that was actually a good transition for Crossroads.
Yeah.
To be a part of that family. So
Yeah.
they're phenomenal. If you ever in Vegas and you need help, Crossroads is a great outlet. Let me tell you that right now. So the thing is you want to make sure that you make changes. You made the changes.
Yeah.
The success has been strong for you. At what point, though, did you, when you went through a relapse? This is what I kind of want to touch base a little bit on before we move on.
Oh, when I do a relapse, I do it all.
No, that's not what I mean. That's not what I mean. The emotions. Here's the thing: people don't trigger their emotions a lot of times. They hide from them. They put a Band-Aid on them. When you relapse, maybe the first time you didn't really think about it, but when you relapse, what emotion did you feel like? Damn. Did you feel like a damn moment, or did you feel like oh, here I am again, or did you have a certain emotion?
Oh, I mean,
I know.
listen, of course, you know what I mean? Like, I have let my family down so many times. It's, for me, it's always my family. Like, my family, I put my family through so much.
Right.
So much.
Most people say the same story too. Family.
Yeah, I've put my family through so much shit. And they're still there.
They're still there.
My family's still there for me. My family's always been there for me.
You're feeling emotional now, yeah? What are you thinking? I have Nitrotril tissues if you need them. To make a little laugh on your face.
John?
What? What's wrong?
Yeah, no. Yeah. I mean, yeah, they've given me tough love, and what family wouldn't? I've been through multiple relapses in my lifetime. I've disappointed them in many ways over my lifetime.
But now,
Sure.
not anymore. That family loves you.
I'm so grateful that when my aunt passed, that I was in a really good space, and I'm going to be even more grateful that when my mom's time comes, that she will be at peace knowing that I'm where I am now, for sure.
I'm sorry to trigger some emotions,
but that's okay. No,
but this is good.
This is good.
It's good to trigger those emotions.
For sure, yeah. I mean, that's what addicts do, right? And not everyone's blessed enough to have a family that supports them, right? Some addicts don't have that.
Not to correct you, I will say it's not what addicts do. It's what an addict who made real change does. And I think your change has triggered so much happiness around everybody, friends, family, people that probably looked at you another way. That's got to. I know. But this is good because people need to see the true emotions. And this is real.
Yeah.
And people have to realize this is real. This isn't some TV show with a script, right? So this is an emotion you feel, and you felt that real emotion. And people need to see that emotion because if they haven't seen that emotion, haven't felt that emotion, they're going through a struggle, they need to. You need to experience that kind of emotion because it could really trigger some change too. Based on that, your family's here. You have a family. I know that. I've seen some things, and it was wonderful. Super happy for you. But now, when you finally, the emotions, the triggers of people being unhappy with you, and when you finally became truly sober, done deal, what was that emotion? What emotion you feel on that one?
Are you ever really able to celebrate that day? I mean, does it ever really come? Like, you're able to say, that day, you get to celebrate every year, another year, another year, another year, right?
But you celebrate every day, I think.
I'll
explain why I say that.
I'm happy every single day. Like, for me, every day is a celebration. Every day is for me, because I get to give what I have to other people
Yes. Yes.
every day I go to work, right?
Yes.
Because that is what I chose to enable me. I was hoping that was going to help me to get where I am now.
Right.
It was going to give me. I was hoping that's what it was going to do, and it actually has given me so much more. You know what I mean?
100%.
So, yeah.
Well,
It's
come to
given me
think
so
of
much
that,
more, so,
did you just get an award recently?
um,
Weren't you somewhere for an award? I was dropping stuff off. You had to be an award show or something. I think you just got awarded something.
I did not get an award.
I thought you got something. You had to go see somebody. That's what I heard.
No, I went to somebody else's award.
Oh, okay. I got told you got an award.
I went to a Trailblazer award for one of the people that has,
Oh, okay. Okay.
yeah, that has been
Your
one of
team,
my mentors.
your team told me you were getting an award, and that's why you were not present that day.
Oh, no. Yeah, I went to someone else's award they got a Trailblazer award.
Okay.
And so she's been one of my specialty treatment court people that has, been one of my mentors within the specialty treatment court circuit. And, yeah, she was honored with a Trailblazer award.
awesome.
And so, yes, I had to go and see it.
Okay.
And so I
Okay.
didn't even know it was happening that day until 8:30 that morning when I got to work.
But still, with you being in the position you're in, you get to experience those things with somebody, and I think that's really cool. I know that you do a lot of festival stuff. Like in the parking lot, I know you guys do a lot of stuff. Your success, witnessing it for myself. Seeing you help people. That's why I said daily, because you help people every single day. I think you help your team every single day. I know your team has also struggled with it and they became successful too. And I think it's amazing. You do a phenomenal job with your team. I've seen how you monitor that and you get on people, you handle people, you help people, you help the clientele. You do a phenomenal job. But the thing is, you have other things going on in your life
I do.
that you're really busy with.
Yes.
So between family and organizations and anything that comes around, you really, and I hate to say it, thin yourself out to complete success for everybody.
I try. I try to stay busy. Yes, I try to stay busy. I have grandkids and stuff like that. I have grandkids and I have my kids. And are you talking about my other organization that I work with?
You do have that. I mean,
Yeah.
I witnessed a few things. I'm not saying I'm cheating, but I know there's social media. And I know that you've been out with family. You've been doing visits. The connection. I think I follow the journey of somebody.
Oh, my son.
Everybody.
Oh.
All this that you do. I watch everything that you do. I think there's always a journey, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things with our show is like people always focus on the addiction, but not the journey of.
Mm-hmm.
Because a journey is very important. Every journey has a beginning and an ending, right?
Yep.
And your ending is a smile all the time. Okay? And I think it's wonderful. You get excited and stuff like that, and the things you got to experience recently, and it's just nice to see success.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because my son that I didn't raise, of course, now we're reunited and I got to meet my granddaughters. And so that's all amazing. And then, now with Jay's Light Children's Foundation, if that's what you're speaking of, that didn't start out as a smile because of, Jay's Light was Jaya.
It's a tough story, guys. It's a very tough story. I don't want to share too much on the story, but I will say there's a lot. I'm going to share some things at the end. But when your day's over, how do you feel?
When my day's over at my job?
Everywhere.
Your
day's over, you're doing things. How do you feel? Besides being tired, anyways. How do you feel?
When I leave the office, half the time I don't leave the office. I'm always I'm just grateful to be in the space that I'm in every day, and I'm able to give what I've received. I feel blessed. I honestly feel blessed. I'm in a space that I'm just able to do what I set out to do. I was just on a whim, was like, I'm going to work in treatment, and I'm working in treatment, and what I receive every day is more than I actually give, honestly.
Right, yeah.
And I'm able to go home, and I'm able to lay down and actually sleep peacefully. And that's more than what most people can do.
Do you ever think like, I don't know if you ever think about your past with your addiction and stuff like that, I know what you go through and stuff that you think about. Do you ever think about, my addiction to here, and just kind of balance that in your mind, like the feelings of going back and forth and not going back and forth anymore? Like, is there any type of connection or thing that says, wow, like there's a different feeling that you get?
Oh, 100%. A totally different feeling. Yeah. I don't even know if I can put it into words. It's peaceful. It's more, I just feel like I belong.
Right.
I don't even know how else to put it. I just feel like now I literally belong in this world. I'm contributing. I'm just like a part of this world. I don't know how else to put it.
And that's it's interesting to hear you say that, because you were contributing first, and then you feel like you weren't contributing, and then now you're contributing again.
Yeah,
your journey
I
started.
really feel like I have a place here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm building a legacy. Something that my grandkids will actually be like, yeah, that was my Nana.
So speaking of legacies, that kind of goes into my next question. What is your future goals? What do you really want to do? How do you want this all to end in the background? Do you just have your own thing? Do you want to do something big? What's your future goal?
I mean, I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing now. It's going to be to continue with treatment for sure, in some way, shape, or form. I'm going to continue with Jazz Light for as long as we can continue to do that. I'm going to continue to help people in whatever capacity I can. I think that's what I was born to do. It's what I've always done. It appears, I'm going to enjoy my grandkids, my family.
Yeah, your family thing's doing great. I know that. I know that for sure.
And I hope that I can retire before I pass away. Just so I can enjoy some things and not have to work, full time. I mean, I don't see myself retiring completely ever.
Right.
I'm too much of a busybody. I can't even sit still. You know what I mean? I never sit still. But really, I'm not sure, John, quite frankly, but I do know that I will always continue to, be out in the community doing something.
It's weird that you say it, because I was thinking about your court mandated thing you talked about earlier. Because I know a lot of people, I was court mandated, had to do this, had to do that. So usually when you get court mandated clients, do you actually think about myself when I was court mandated? Do you actually put yourself in that position and direct the situation with treatment, right, in a different way, hopefully, right? Because a lot of court mandated people don't want to be there. The court tells them to, right?
I work with the specialty treatment courts.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So that's why when you work with court people, I actually see you somewhere in the future working directly in with the courts. I do. I'm not going to lie to you. Because you know what it feels like. You know the transitionings and the changes, what you have to do and what really happens. And I just think you'd be such an inspiration and motivation to people having to fight the struggle.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Well, we'll see what the future holds. We shall see what the future holds. There's somebody else that's on the same page as you, and yes, she has been for a couple years now. She's been with talking to me about that, but yeah.
Well, you know me. I'm a go-getter. I like if my feet ain't moving, something's wrong. So for me, I'm always going to say, listen, if more than one person's telling you that, don't sleep on it. Get on it. 100%. Every change you make is a positive towards success and what you want to do. It'd be just nice to see you. I could just see it, honestly. So
Wow.
I think you do great. I think you would do great.
Thank you.
100%. So definitely something to think about. But your success is amazing. And now your organization. Okay.
Well, I'm part of the organization. It's
Well,
not
you're
really
still
mine.
still part of you're part of it. You're in it. Okay. There's a lot of things you're doing. We won't share too much, but
Right.
Jaya's Light is a phenomenal thing. I've looked at everything, and I know the story behind it, how it
Yes.
started, and where it's going, and the more growth you're trying to have, and what really made you say, "I got to be a part of this. I want to help. I want to help and be a part of this group."
Well, quite frankly, Jaya was part of. Well, I was brought into their family. Jaya's grandmother is my best friend. We've been friends for over 15 years. We've been through addiction and recovery together, and I've known Jaya since she was born, a baby. And when Jaya passed away out of grief and needing some recovery, her grandmother, Andrea, created Jaya's Light Children's Foundation. And she asked me if I wanted to be part of it, and she named me the director. And I absolutely said, absolutely.
So let
Yes,
me
I
get
would
this
love
straight.
to.
I know
Yes.
I know what your position is where you work.
Yeah.
I know everything you do where you work.
Yeah.
And then director of this.
Yes.
Do you sleep? I just, I mean, there's got a lot going on. So
I do. When we have things that are events or like I work on the weekends doing that. Sometimes I'm up very late till 2 in the morning. Whatever. I do
Yeah.
what I need to do, and we get things done. And yeah, and I love doing it. Jaya's Light is literally the light of me when I'm doing the important things to honor her. Like, she was the brightest. She loved everyone. Anyone that knew Jaya literally was lit up by her.
Wow.
I mean, Jaya's Light is the most proper name for this foundation. She I can't even say enough about her. Um, um,
Yeah, I see it. I see it.
and yes, and every moment that I get to work in her memory is, amazing for me. I just love it. So, yeah, I'm honored. I'm so honored that Andrea asked me to be a part of this, and I will do it till my dying day,
Right. Well, of course, of course.
for sure.
I mean, helping out the community is a big thing, no matter what the cause is, as long as it's positive, right? So, I mean, and then when the child's involved, it makes it even more, something you have to be driven to, stuff like that. And it's tough. It's a tough thing with children. I don't know if you know this, but I lost my child when he was younger. So I know losing a child, it hurts. I've been there. I know the emotions are very deep. I love what you guys did, or whoever built this, to start something in your honor. I think it's amazing. I can't share a lot right now, everybody, because my dream. I'm not looking at anybody. Is to get Grandma on here. I would like to have both of you on this show.
Yes.
I really want to talk about your organization, only your organization, to see the changes. I want people to understand what this is and share it more and stuff like that. So, like I said, your success has been great.
Yes.
I didn't dig deep on you today because I didn't want to dig deep on you.
I'm not gonna. I'm gonna
Okay.
wait for Andrea and I to come here. I've already talked to her about it.
No,
and-
just even personal. I don't want to dig deep on you. Your journey, your successes. We talk about your relapse stuff like that. But I love your success. I think a lot of people, when they share their success, just share it to share it. You emotionally share it, and I think
I can't help it. I'm that person.
but everybody should. I think the emotional feelings behind your change is a driven recipe to other people's success. I really do. I know if you work with clientele, I'm sure you have clients that you probably have some hard cases you've dealt with.
Uh-huh.
You probably have some cases like
For
this
sure.
is not going to go anywhere. Okay, but then somehow you made the changes. And I kind of want to talk about that success too. Besides JS Light and everything else, when it comes to clients, I mean, is it the best part of your job? Is seeing people really truly change?
100%. But like you have. I'm always forthcoming and honest with my clients. I'm not going to put in more work than they're going to put in, and I tell them that right from the
100%,
gate.
100%.
You know what I mean? And when you're honest with them right from the gate, then they tend to give you more because they know that you're going to be there for them.
Right.
You can weed out the bullshit from the beginning.
Yeah,
And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you tend to get more people giving and wanting to do for themselves because they know you're also going to be there for them. I really have a pretty good success rate, I would say, but also I do have a lot of specialty courts clients on my caseload, so there's that part too. But just being honest and transparent with them, and also sharing your experiences with them.
I was asking you, self-disclose a little bit?
100% I do.
Yeah.
100%. I have a lot to share.
Of course, yeah. 100%.
I have a lot to share, and sharing your experiences lets them know that you've been in their shoes.
Right.
So that you're not just this suit or what have you that's sitting in that chair. You've been where they are. Sharing your experiences helps them to bring down some of their walls. They know that you've been there. And so it really helps a lot. Yeah. Letting them know you've been in their shoes.
When you were treating, did anybody self-disclose with you so you knew that they understood too?
No.
No.
Never.
Does that make it difficult?
Never. Yeah, I mean, pretty much it was like, yeah, you don't know. You've never been there. You went to college, you got your degree, and you're trying to teach me something you know nothing about. You know what I mean? For me, that's how it was most of the time. I never had anyone share experiences with me when I did any sort of treatment. When I was at Choices, even the relapse prevention program that I went to, I never got that. I always share my experiences.
Do you
And
feel like
actually,
self-disclosure truly helps?
I think it does. And working where I work currently, it is a second chance company.
Right.
A lot of the employees there are in recovery.
Very true. Very true, yeah.
They do have a 2-year minimum requirement. They have to be in recovery for a minimum of 2 years. And I think it's a fantastic thing to do. It's helped me to also build an army of soldiers, of people in recovery for me. Having this band of people that are in recovery that have gone through the same thing as I have has helped me to also, like I said, build this army of soldiers of support for myself.
So it's almost like a soldier recovered helps you recover.
100%. It's like building antibodies against cancer. You know what I mean? You have these soldiers of people that have gone through the same thing as you, and they already have at least 2 years of clean time with them.
And yeah, no, you're right.
You know what I mean?
I think you're right because I don't even know with cancer too. It's weird because when I was in the hospital, all the nurses either has lost somebody, fought cancer themselves, or helped fight with something. They all had a story to kind of understand what you're going through. So it does help you get through it for sure. 100%.
Yeah. So that was another part that helped with this instance of my recovery as well.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Is there anything from your fight that you didn't share, or something that comes to mind? Something that really that people need to understand about you, and what you went through, and the kind of feelings that you had. Is there anything you didn't share when it comes to the struggle you went through?
I mean, sharing that I, came across mental health issues, which is something I never, that was the hardest part for me to come to terms with myself, because I've always been so strong independent. I've always prided myself on being a strong, independent female woman of empowerment, and having to admit to myself that I had an issue with depression, anything mental health wise, was the hardest thing for me to come to terms with. Like, not me,
Right. And not
But
me is a big thing too. It's like
it was the best thing I ever did for myself. One of the best things I ever did for myself, because now I'm even stronger and more independent than ever. Because all it takes is that tiny little pill and talk therapy.
tiny pill.
That tiny
Just
little
take the pill.
and talk therapy. And listen,
Well,
it's created miracles.
The truth of the matter is, like everybody has some form of mental health.
Yeah.
Okay, but you're doing great no matter what. But it's interesting because like my son's father, my oldest boy, has substance-induced schizophrenia. It's really, really tough. And my son's old enough to understand it, and he hears what his father says, and he says, "Hey, that's what he said. Man, I think he's on one." Shows me text messages, so he's not doing well at all. So it's very interesting to try to explain that stuff and see that, So I'm glad you don't have that situation. I'm sure you've seen it in other people in treatment, but they have that substance use schizophrenia. I'm not sure if you've seen that.
Yeah.
And it's tough, So it's good that you got meds because you're going through something, but it's not that. You know what I mean?
But doesn't that go away once they have clean time?
No, some people they can try to maintenance it if they get clean, but depending on how bad the damage is, it's there.
Oh.
It's there. Like his damage is so bad it won't go away.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh,
pretty tough.
wow. I'm sorry for him.
Yeah, it's really tough.
Yeah, that's heartbreaking. For
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, 100%. So you have a mix of mental health. Depression's always been number one. Anxiety's always been another.
Yeah.
It always kind of goes hand in hand. But most people I've talked to about depression and mental health when it comes to especially to substance abuse is because they're depressed in themselves and the decisions they made, and they're just depressed on their own. Like no one's feeding the depression; it's their choices that fed the depression. So for me, it's like, oh, you've been sober a couple years. You should kind of be happy right now, right? But some people are like, no, but if I didn't do that back then. And I think living in the past, okay, does not define your present.
Right.
And I think that's a humongous thing. And a lot of people live in this world that drowns them. And for me, I think, are you triggering yourself emotionally for relapse?
Yeah.
And is that possible?
Quite frankly, for me, the depression thing is a kind of a mystery. I am still trying to figure it all out. I'm just grateful for the medication because while I'm trying to figure it out, I'm not having the issues. So I'm, doing my therapy and I'm taking the medication and I'm fine.
No, that's awesome.
So there's that.
Well,
So I know that I had a medical issue with allergies where I was getting bad breakouts, and we would get it figured out, and then it would come back again, and then we'd have to change the formula for the medication, for the shots.
Oh, imagine.
And then I was still getting the breakouts. You saw part of all
Oh,
that.
yeah.
You were there for that.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
so
we postponed for that reason.
Yes, and then so when all was said and done, like I was doing everything on my end that I could do.
Right.
And then there was issues, when the doctor couldn't even figure it out. So that caused me to go into a state of depression because I was doing everything I could. I had no control. And it caused me depression. So there was that part. So that was an instance where the depression came on really hard.
Right.
And then that's when I went and saw a psychiatrist for the very first time.
So a lot of
and
people,
was diagnosed
And you
with
made
depression.
that choice, which is crazy, because a lot of people don't make that choice.
Actually, my family said, you need to go see a psychiatrist. You need to go.
How would you feel about that when they say, hey, you need to see...
Well, it's, listen,
Some people accept it, some people don't, so...
I did because I needed to. I just really needed to. I needed to figure out what was going on because it wasn't good. I really wasn't in a good space at that time. And so I went, and that's what the diagnosis was, and I got on the medication, I started therapy, and I've been good. But then also, the doctors had figured it out, and my shots are good, and I'm doing well. So, I mean, but still, I don't want to have issues with other things either. I mean, there's probably been other times that things that happen where now thinking back, wow, that could have been depression at that time. Oh, that was probably depression at that time. Now that I'm thinking about it and I'm talking about these issues at certain times with my therapist, well, yeah, that's probably what that was then as well. You know what I mean? Different, maybe situational depression at this time or this time or this time.
Yeah, because some people, you tell me, you need to see therapy. Like, you need therapy. They don't take it very well, It's hard. And it's hard. I went through a struggle with therapy because people were like, hey, when I was fighting cancer and I was in Arizona at Mayo Hospital, right? They bring a therapist in to talk to you. My head was not straight. And I know what this is about. Mm-hmm. And I was that guy that was like, he goes, I just want to talk to you, see how you're feeling. Well, I was told I could die, so I don't know what this conversation's going to go.
Right.
Right. So my head's not in that position. I'm like, oh, I feel great going to Disneyland tomorrow. It wasn't going to happen like that. So I was very, very rude to this guy. I ended up apologizing to him in the end. But yeah, I couldn't accept it because of what I was going through. But I mean, and that was my weak spot. You know what I mean? Some people have a weak spot, so I completely get it. But for you to accept it and make the changes, it's amazing.
Well, yeah.
It's amazing.
I mean, at that point, it was like, what harm can it do? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Maybe it depends on the therapist you get. No, I'm just kidding.
Actually, I loved my therapist. My psychiatrist, actually, I have a different one now because the one I had before doesn't take my insurance any longer.
That's the only thing I don't like.
And the psych doesn't really do anything except for she gave me my initial diagnosis, which I'm grateful for, and prescribed medication.
You feel anxiety?
No, because my medication is for both.
Okay, so it's for both. The reason why I asked that question is I've had clients that told me they feel anxious. And I'm like, well, dude, you've been sober like 30 days or 2 months, whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. And, I was like, why do you feel anxious? Because, man, look, I don't know how to accept this. I'm anxious. Like, why? Because I use drugs, dude. Like, I haven't used drugs. Like, this is making me anxious. So not using the drug makes you anxious. And I don't know if it's, I just don't understand it. And I try to listen to the client because it teaches me, So, I mean, some people say, look, man, this is what I do, bro. Like, I use. And some people said that because, I made some changes I'm not using, I get a little anxiety because, like, this is my normal go-to. If something goes wrong, I go to it. Then I'm not going to it. I don't know how not to feel anxious. Is that normal with addiction?
I know that it kind of fluctuates through my family, the depression, anxiety thing.
Oh, okay.
I know that my aunt had depression, anxiety, and I'm not going to say who, but it had.
No names.
There's a couple other.
Yeah.
I know for sure one other person gets the anxiety part. So I'm not. I don't know about that. I never sit still anyway. You know how I am at the office. I just don't sit still. I don't think that's an anxiety thing. I have no idea. It could just be the anxiety part. I know I was having depression and anxiety, and it could just be maybe later in my age. It could just be hereditary. I'm not sure. But I do know that my aunt had depression, anxiety, and then she ended up with some rare, it was called super something nuclear palsy. I don't know. I forget the name of it, but it was some rare, she came up with some rare disease, and she was only, they say they only survived 5 years after that diagnosis, and that's about how long she ended up living after that.
Wow.
Supranuclear palsy or something like that, yeah.
Jeez. Okay, wow.
And this is a woman that took care of herself, didn't smoke, rarely drank. Like, She exercised. Yeah. And yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, but not to go into it, but like I know my wife's mother passed away from COPD and never smoked.
Well, that figures.
Like it was just wild. It was just very wild. It came out of nowhere. You
Yeah.
know, she worked in the doctor's offices, so there's a lot of things that go around that trigger people. But so do you have like a shirt that says "Mrs. Successful"? I can do it. Get it done. Do you have any shirts?
No, but it's so funny because one of the case managers that works at my office. Oh, excuse me, I'm so sorry. He makes T-shirts for everything, so I'm surprised he hasn't made me one yet. And he knows who I'm talking about.
I know who it is because he just asked my size last week. So.
Oh, see, yep.
Yeah, he asked my size.
And when he sees this, he's gonna say, "Oh, now I gotta go make her a T-shirt." No.
It's great everything that you're doing. I follow a lot of things. I see a lot of things. I'm just very observant, and it's just nice to see the change in people that really make the change. It's something that when we're working, we see change, and sometimes we don't. We can't save everybody, which is hurtful and stuff like that. But to see someone go through all of this,
Yeah.
and maintain is amazing. Because I think that's really what people don't understand. When you go through addiction and you go through all the struggles, when you are sober and you're going daily sober, I think the maintenance is the toughest part to stay sober.
Yeah.
It
It took me a long time to figure out what was right for me.
Right.
How, what was going to work for me. But, you know what? Keep on trying. Go back to the drawing board and figure it out, damn it.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? I love where I'm at. I love it.
Oh, I know you do.
I love where I'm at. I do. Working in treatment was, you know what? It may not be for everybody, but it's definitely for me, and I love it. So, yeah, it may have taken of course, for me, I have to go that extra mile. Like, can't just go to AA and NA. I have to actually work in treatment. And there's that. And there was that. I'm just saying.
It's funny because some people don't like it, and then some people goes, "Tell me any number, I'll tell you exactly what the board says." It's like, well, there's two of you. There's two different people for sure, 100%. I've had people go, "You should hang the 12 steps in the house." Like, okay, my bad. It's like, so you have your gives and don'ts, man. I look, it works. I've had clients that tell me, "I went to prison, just." Tell me a page. I'll tell you what the Bible says. Like, how do you do that? Because I can't remember what I ate last night.
Well, for me, it was Smart Recovery.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's how I found out about Smart Recovery is when I started working where I'm working, and then I became a Smart Recovery facilitator.
Oh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What does that entail? What do you do? Like, how do you?
What?
Smart Recovery. What do you do?
Well, Smart Recovery is not where you need a sponsor. They don't have steps, but it's you can have a mentor.
Okay.
And Smart Recovery is more based on the power of choice.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's why I really gravitated more towards Smart Recovery, because that's more in my views.
So you're trying to take someone who made poor choices to make more of a positive choice.
Yes. So
You have to educate for that though, right? Because they're used to making one choice. You have to transition to the other side, right?
yeah, but for me, I do still feel like yes, addiction is a disease.
Right.
But once you get that, you get 30 days in. For some people, it's a little longer, but you get that time in. Like, you do have the power to choose.
Of course. 100%.
I'm just saying.
You always have the
You
power
do.
to choose.
You have the power to choose.
Yes.
You do.
Yes.
You can pick up. You have the power to choose to pick up, or you have the power to choose to pick up the phone and call your mom or your dad or your mentor, or you have the power to choose what you want to do with your life. You
Absolutely.
really do.
Absolutely.
You do.
Absolutely.
You do. And I just am. I'm about the power of choice. I really am. I really had gravitated towards Smart Recovery, and I like that they have I like their virtual meetings.
Okay.
Because I can attend those meetings anonymously
Okay.
and with everyone that I know in the community.
Mm-hmm.
I can stay anonymous with those meetings.
Oh.
And I can say what I want. I can speak my mind. I can tell what's going on with myself honestly, and it doesn't get back to anybody.
Oh, wow.
And that was the main thing that kept me from going to AA and NA, because nothing ever stays anonymous.
No, no, no. I
frankly.
mean, I think it's helpful. I think a lot of people just in a group setting, depending if that group setting is right for them. I think honestly, if you're forced into certain treatments, it may not work for you. I think you have to find the one treatment or white setting that really works for you. Because if you're not, you know, completely engaged and emotionally involved with what your treatment is,
Yeah,
it won't work.
100% correct.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I work in treatment. I have clients in treatment. I can't be, you know what I mean? I need to be able to be in a meeting forum and be able to share if I want to and not have to worry about my clients being in those meetings.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Right. Yeah, I know. That would be weird, right?
Yeah.
Hey, we just saw you yesterday. We're going to share a story. That'd be so strange, honestly. Okay, so you feel blessed. You're successful. You went through it. You understood it. You know your triggers. You're happy. You're excited. This is wonderful, by the way. I appreciate you being on the show, too. I really do. Like, I've known your story for a while, so I think it's amazing.
Thank you.
I didn't know a lot of other depths and how things started. That's wild. And you were young, too.
Yeah.
You were young, too.
Yes.
So I think it's great. So here's the situation. JS Light is a big organization that helps the community. Hopefully we can get them on here and do the show. What's going to happen is this. Go to soberandstrong.life. I own Sober and Strong LLC. You'll see that come up. You're going to go to the resources page, and JS Light will be mentioned with the logo and their mission. If you click that logo, it'll take it right to their website, so you can actually do the research and see what they do. They need help. They need help with the community. I believe they just postponed a situation. They pushed it down to November. Donations and stuff like that. Gift baskets, stuff like that. There's a way to connect with them on the page. Please do it. We really want to help any way we can. So, soberandstrong.life. Click on JS Light under the resources tab. Please look at their web page. Hopefully we can get them on, and we can do everything we can. So hopefully we'll see JS Light here soon. We'll talk only about JS Light. You'll understand JS Light. You'll know how it started, because you're probably on here like, well, how did it start? You stopped. You didn't let them say what they're going to say. Well, you'll know when JS Light tells you.
Yes.
All right? It's not my position. So I appreciate you being on here.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, Kimberly, for being on here. Is there anything that you would want to share with the audience as far as what not to do, what you would recommend if you do, like drugs, relations, substance related, and what to do with choices?
I just want to say, if you have the opportunity to get yourself in treatment, if you have the opportunity to, not even the opportunity, you all have opportunities, right? If today's that day where you decide, I'm done with this, I want to change. I go to Crossroads. I'm going to say it right now. Go to Crossroads. You don't have to have insurance. They have county beds. You can stand out there, you can get a free bed, and you can go to detox. They take anybody. Today can be that day, because you never know what you're going to get out there. Everything's laced with fentanyl, and you can take one hit of anything, and today could be the last day you ever do that. So please take the opportunity. Now is the time, and I can meet you at that front door anytime. So take the opportunity and do it today, because Crossroads always has a free bed for you to go to detox. That's all I have to say.
It's amazing. She is right. Please go. It's a wonderful detox program. They have a wonderful team that understands your struggle because they went through it too. So you'll be in good hands. I really appreciate you. Remember, addiction's all about the journey you go through. We don't care if you use, we care about your journey. So thank you again for tuning into Addiction, and we will see you soon, and have a wonderful rest of your Sunday.